Good evening. Welcome to our Monday, March 27, 2017 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news this evening, Barama concessions to be distributed by April, Leg 1 hospital upgrading, and miners in Marudi told to get their act together. These and other stories when the news returns. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur. Here are the details. The Ministry of Natural Resources is expected to begin distributing the forest concessions that were given up by Barama in April. Tiffany Rodias has the details.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman says 17 expressions of interest have been received for the 1.6 million hectares of land that were previously held by Barama under concession.
We are in the process of reviewing them and will be in a position to start allocating in April.
Last October, Barama declined to renew its forest concession agreement with the government, resulting in the lands reverting to the state. Recent claims about the government not giving out concessions are being dismissed by Minister Trotman as inaccurate. Trotman explains that due process has to be followed.
We had to have a period of advertisement, a period of analyzing the responses, and we will be redistributing later this year.
Trotman says that in December 2016, the Guyana Forestry Commission gave out 70 concessions to small loggers throughout the country. For the Government News Brief, Tiffany Rogers.
Residents in Leg 1 are now benefiting from improved health services through upgraded facilities and resources at the island's hospital. Assistant Regional Executive Officer Region 3, Shahid Shamir, says that during last year, for the first time, 2 permanent doctors were stationed at the Leg 1 District Hospital. New departments have also been built to improve the services offered.
On the east of this building, we have the physio department. There's a new building that was installed last year. That is the old physio department moving across here now. The procurement of the equipment is in process, and this should be commissioned shortly this year. Right? So that is there. Also, last year, in the region, we purchased the equipment to do the heart test. That has already been installed. That is functioning right now.
These works, he adds, put the island in a better position to deliver better healthcare services to the residents.
When you look at healthcare in Leg 1, we can safely say healthcare is escalating. That is, everything has been put into place so that the residents of Leg 1 can be betterly treated. So far we have had any problem major in terms of drug shortages or any major illness on the island, as a matter of fact. Yeah? Well, we have 24-hour service here at Leg 1 Hospital. Doctors working night and day.
The Leg 1 District Hospital serves about 450 patients. Services offered include laboratory, dentistry, rehabilitation, inpatient and outpatient facilities. There is an electrocardiogram service for heart tests. Director for Regional Health Services at the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. K. Sheko, says there have been some improvements in the physical resources at the hospital.
The extension services at Leg 1 Hospital, which would have included the X-ray department, laboratory services, as well as a new rehabilitation department that was constructed. Now, these services are there, and the equipment to furnish the X-ray department, right? There is a lead glass that is supposed to be procured for the X-ray department, and currently the REO and the region, they're in consultation.
Prior to the rehabilitation works at the Leg 1 Hospital, services offered to residents were minimal. Dr. Sheko says it is the aim of the Ministry of Public Health to provide all citizens with quality health care as far as possible. Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman will appoint a facilitator to help resolve the dispute over who has the right to mine in the Marudi Mountains. Tiffany Rodias tells us more.
The facilitator, to be named shortly, is expected to enable dialogue between Romanex Guyana Exploration, miners and residents in the south of Benoni. The decision was taken by Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman, who met with the representatives of the 3 parties in Marudi over the weekend. The meeting saw accusations being traded about alleged violations of a mediation agreement that was brokered last year. The Rupununi Miners Association says Romanex is allowing persons outside of the agreement to mine in the area.
You just add once you get your 10%. The mountains close off, people cross have been seized. The only body who is owning and living right now is Mr. Marshall.
However, the Canadian company is contesting that shop owners continue to violate a move order to facilitate tests in the area.
It was decided at that point that there could be no crushing go on in the future in Marudi except under very controlled circumstances and after the company tested. Now, we have been waiting since that mediation day for this to move out of here so we could begin the test program. We have the equipment sitting since November.
On the other hand, the Tushao of Aishalton, Casimiro Douglas, is concerned about the pollution of the environment.
We are concerned about the environment. The waterways that would have been natural for us. Now, you look at the condition here. No best practices. Water tailings, the tailings go right into there.
The heated back and forth between the company residents and miners led to Minister Trotman admonishing them to get their acts together.
There got a lot of people who are after this region, this district, to shut it down completely. The conservationists, the environmentalists, the world wildlife people. Okay? So the point is, unless we could get our act together, there'll be no mining in this district at all.
Minister Trotman is expected to revisit Marudi later this week for another meeting between the involved parties to help resolve the matter. For the Government News Brief, Tiffany Rogers.
Ministerial outreaches have begun in Region 6 to address citizens' concerns. Zanil Williams shares with us some of those concerns raised by the residents.
Residents and councillors of the Gibraltar-Courtland National Democratic Council, NDC, voiced their concerns about the mismanagement of resources at the NDC.
Oftentimes, we got to be going there and begging for help. And I don't think it's fair. We have tractors, we have brush cutters, we have things that this village can use that is being placed at residents' homes. Right? And that's not fair. What we need is a solution to these problems. We have people within the NDC that have been selling and leasing and doing their own side of stuff, fencing government reserve as their own properties, and our equipment that we store in members' homes that we cannot get access to.
Minister Brooms, who met the residents of that area, urged villagers to stand up for their rights. She says the resources are for the community and are not the property of a councillor or overseer.
One councillor from the RDC, from the NDC, make a decision and move a machine. You know, I mean, it's so long you guys in bondage and so on that you got to come out of bondage now. You got to understand that you're government. No single councillor. It is in your hands. It is this government who brought local government back here. Why? To put power in the hands of the people.
An NDC covers a small geographic area within each region and is tasked with the management and administration of these areas within its boundaries. The NDC is responsible for providing efficient services including sanitation, garbage disposal, road or dam maintenance, market facilities, burial grounds, abattoir, drainage, and also maintain and protect public property. The other ministers met with the residents of other villages in the region. Zanil Williams reporting for the Government News Brief.
The Ground Enhancement project, under which a number of community grounds are being rehabilitated, has turned its focus to Region 5. Isaiah Braffett reports on a site visit at the Belladrum ground.
Director of Sport Christopher Jones and a team of officials from the National Sports Commission recently inspected the Belladrum community ground. Jones says if the ground is fixed, a number of schools and youth within the village and surrounding communities would benefit.
Rehabilitation work is needed to be done, fencing, ground, lights, and of course we have a proposal from the committee that is tasked with responsibility for this ground, and this too will form part of the Ground Enhancement Fund. Of course we do hope that the request that is here in terms of the amount is provided so that we could expedite on the work on the ground.
The proposal from the committee amounts to over $17 million. However, Jones noted that when the ground is fully rehabilitated, it can be used to generate income, which would then go towards maintenance.
Now the sun is going down, so after a short period of time this ground is rendered useless unless we get lights so that the young people then could continue and even organize inter-villages football, basketball, volleyball competition that will generate economic activity in the village and of course for the committee, so after a period of time they will be able to sustain themselves and the ground by virtue of that. But of course we have to, as the administration, put those infrastructure in place.
The project is welcomed by Chairman of the Neighborhood Democratic Council Emil Wilson and Councillor Shondell David.
With this input what you would want to provide for us, it will motivate them to, organize themselves and to see the benefit of what you want to do for them. Please see how you can assist us.
I welcome that enhancement because we have, as you can see, we have so much young people here and the infrastructure is not so good. So I welcome that because I know when that happens, our playground would be secure. And we're protecting it from vagrants and everybody. So our children will be very happy.
The ground, once upgraded, is expected to host a cricket pitch, a football field, a court where basketball and volleyball can be played, and a facility where persons can play table tennis and indoor games. A total of 53 recreational grounds have already been upgraded through the Ground Enhancement Project. This includes the leveling of grounds, installing lights and pavilions. The sum of $150 million was allocated for the program into 2017 national budget. Isaiah Braffett, The Government News Brief.
This has been another edition of The Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GNews website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like and follow us on Facebook to be updated as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of The Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur. Have a great night.